So there have been a bunch of visual novels I've been meaning to review, but it's just been a while so I don't remember a lot of the details. So I figured I can talk about them in a video series I'm going to call Ange's Visual Novel Quick Recommendations. The idea is I like all of these visual novels and would like to recommend them to people in 3 to 5 minutes or less. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Edelweiss, which was developed by Overdrive and got an official translation by Nakige. If the name Overdrive sounds familiar, it's because they developed visual novels such as Go-Go Nippon, Kira Kira, Bokuten, and Musicus. Edelweiss is actually Overdrive's first ever visual novel and one of Manga Gamer's first translations. So it might feel dated in terms of how its story and translation is executed, but in my opinion, it still has its own unique charm and makes it worth reading today. The premise of Edelweiss is quite odd. The main character, Kazushi, has not one, but 3 bro characters he always hangs out with. All 4 of them are very open, horny teenage male virgins. They studied their butts off to get what they perceive to be a sex paradise. Basically, there's an all-girls boarding school on a private island, and only the best get into the program to transfer to that island. The 4 bros are able to get in, and the game starts out with them riding a boat to the island. Once they reach said island, it's definitely a lot wackier than they were expecting. In addition, the ruckus they make causes the 4 to not be particularly popular in the all-female class, especially since they're open perverts. Thankfully, there's a group of girls who accept these 4 relatively quickly, and most of them are main heroines in this visual novel. Humor is subjective and all, but I consider the common route pretty funny, though a lot of the humor does rely on tolerating or enjoying the 4 main guys' constant, crude, perverted remarks. Thankfully, all the main heroines have their funny quirks as well. Another thing I enjoyed about the common route is how surprisingly wholesome we can get. The 4 main guys and the girls who accept them eventually become a pretty tight-knit group of friends. I won't say who, there's also, eventually, a canon side couple, something that's still extremely rare in most visual novels I read. Now unfortunately for me, the heroine routes themselves are okay at best. Some have hit or miss melodrama, some are just plain weird, and one gets particularly Nakige-ish out of nowhere. Some people may like them more than me, but I honestly mostly enjoyed the common route and maybe a few routes in Edelweiss. To quickly go over the main heroines themselves, Haruka is a very naive and clumsy, yet nice girl, a humorous contrast to the perverted bros. Mizuki is a tomboy tsundere who loves to swim, but secretly wants romance. Ran is kind of a troll, and lots of her characters are all about making money. Natsume is a mysterious lolly, very blunt and rude, so doesn't have any friends. And believe it or not, there is a teacher route for Mei, who is very liked among all the students, but may have an unexpected secret. There's a fandisc called Edelweiss Aiden Fantasia, featuring 2 heroines who didn't have routes in the original, Rin and Sakura. Any Fate fan may see an amusing comparison of their personalities. Rin is the Yamato Nadeshiko type, aka a very modest housewifey personality, good at feminine things like cooking and stuff. Sakura, on the other hand, is more tomboyish, very friendly to everyone, including the guys, to the point where some people was wondering if she was actually lesbian. Rin and Sakura were easily my personal favorites personality-wise, and for those who like threesome routes, there is a secret route of that in Aiden Fantasia involving those 2. Edelweiss is an odd visual novel for me to recommend. As long as you can tolerate or like the degenerate comedy, at least 1 or 2 main heroines interest you, or if you like to see melodrama in a story that starts off lighthearted, I would say to give it a shot. If you have any questions or comments about Edelweiss or this video, feel free to leave a comment below.